What's up, Everyday Blades? So, I've recently become a pretty big fan of Grimsmo knives. I recently acquired the Grimsmo Norseman. I actually bought two of them. Decided to keep that one. And then I discovered that they had a knife out called the Rask. And that's what we're reviewing today. Very, very difficult knife to get a hold of. The Norseman is not super easy to get a hold of, but there are some out there. You can find them on the secondary market. I did not see any Rask for sale. I searched all the groups. I got very lucky, and one of my very close friends, actually one of our admins, had one and was willing to trade me for a knife I had. Well, actually, I bought this one from him. So barely scraped by and got one by the skin of my teeth. And once I got it in hand, I understood why. This knife is pretty amazing, pretty outstanding. I believe these knives are classified as customs, and I don't know if that's where they would fall. That's kind of a loose term these days, because these are CNC made, but they're made by the owner of the company, the guy whose name is on the knife, assembled, and they're custom enough for me, I'll put it that way. Their finishes are phenomenal. They're just beautiful to me. They contrast some really nice colors together. Their anodizing is phenomenal. Look at the deep color in their anodizing of those screws. That is really, really nice, and I really appreciate that. The action on this is the whole story. It's phenomenal. These are running on bearings. They are absolutely drop shut. I took this apart yesterday. I'm extremely pleased with the construction, the fit and finish. This is just a great knife. Put it up against a couple of other knives before we go into too much detail so you can kind of understand the size of it. This is the Norseman, Grimsmo Norseman. As you can see, the Norseman is kind of out there, right? It's got a unique blade shape, and it's differently shaped than other knives. The Rask is more of a traditional pocket knife, but it has all the good stuff of the Norseman. Super light lock bar, wonderful action. The knife itself is super light. Here is the Benchmade bug out. Blade HQ exclusive 20 CV. Love that knife. Here is a 20 CV Delica. So not a small knife, but definitely not oversized. It's to me, it's just right. It feels so good in hand. I've always said I love polished stonewash. I mean, and they did a phenomenal job on this. On their Norseman, one of their trademarks is the grind lines, where they cut out they do the grind with a CNC machine. On this one, I was watching a video on it yesterday. I didn't finish the video, but how they do this grind is actually with the grinding wheel, but it's still done with a machine, and it's beautiful. I'm not saying it's perfect. I mean, some people will measure, how far they are from here to here. I haven't checked all that. To me, the aesthetics are beautiful. It works perfectly. That's all without considering the price. And that's the Achilles heel with this. One is they stopped making these knives from like 2016 till just recently. They kind of revamped them a little bit. They changed a few things on them, improved a few things on them. And now they're just starting to make them again, which means they're just not out there. They're not available. You're not going to find them. And of course, if you wanted one, you'd probably want one of the newer ones, which this happens to be. So you're either going to have to, they have some type of lottery system, I guess, on their website you can go to, and they kind of pick and choose who they're going to, they do drawings, I guess, to see who's going to be able to buy the next knife. I don't know exactly how it works. I never do that. I buy almost all my knives on the secondary. You know, having a group, I have that at my disposal. Sometimes it's not a benefit, especially with these knives. These knives are like $9.50, $9.75 table price. I've seen this knife upwards of $1,800. Think I've paid $12.50. I've seen them for $12.50, $1,300, $1,400. And that's the deal with these knives that are highly in demand, and there just aren't enough of them. The Grimsmos do a great job. John Grimsmo does a great job at marketing and getting the word out about his product, but I don't believe it's hype. I like it. For me, it's my opinion, right? Everybody has their own opinion. But I don't really trade in custom knives. I don't do full-blown handmade customs. I like to turn a lot of knives, and those knives are not real easy to turn over. So for a reviewer, they're just not great to have, not great to own. There's some beautiful ones out there, but the few that I bought, they took forever to sell because a lot of regular guys in the knife community don't even know who the maker is. So for me, I buy, you know, high-end mid-techs, semi-customs, a few, which I guess this could be considered. But man, I'll tell you, $1,000 is my limit for knives, because the diminishing returns after that I've experienced personally are just not worth it. Now this one, I can tell you, it changed my mind a little bit. This knife is really, really good. I like this one. I love the Norseman. I like this one even more. So I want to check the weight on it. Love this Freon scale, man. This thing is super accurate. 3.1 ounces. That is super, super light. So let's put it up beside a knife that is super relevant, because a lot of people say these are almost too close, the Holt Spectre. And they are very, very close. But I can tell you that the Holt Spectre edges it out because of the adjustable detent. And I'll go over that in a review. I had considered these knives pretty much a tie until I started messing with that detent and got it just like I like it. And then the Spectre pulled ahead, and I like it better. But I love this knife. I'm going to keep this knife for now. I quit saying I'm going to keep it forever, because I don't keep any knives forever. So let's take some measurements. The blade steel is RWL 34. That's what they use on, seems to me, like all their knives except the ones that are Damasteel. We are just over right at 3 5/8 on the blade length, 4 5/8 on the handle scales, and about 8 1/4 total length. So that is the Grimsmo Rask. And just getting over a little sinus thing, allergies crap, wasn't really sick, but it's just allergies. So I'm a lot more excited about this knife than I sound. If you get an opportunity to buy one and it fits in your budget, I highly recommend it. It is a huge stretch to make it to that price point, but it is a phenomenal knife. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for everything. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Good night.